job, brother. Good job today. Way to get better. Now, we didn't get a whole lot of shots up. We still did skill work, but you gotta understand there's certain days for that. Right now, we gotta start focusing on team stuff. Gotta start focusing on team stuff. And I don't care nothing about your shots. If you don't defend, it ain't gonna matter anyway, because we will get blown out. We'll get blown out. I'd rather you know where you are supposed to be defensively than come in and shoot 500 shots. We had all summer for that. We still break down the skill work so you get your mechanics stuff, but it can't always be about repetition. It can't always be, because if you don't get any stops, I say it every year, not out, it does not matter. You cannot trade baskets. It will always boil down to one more stop. That's the difference. Can't get it back, gentlemen. We don't have to judge you off your past, you know, because your future can change everything. But if you don't do what you're supposed to do, your season will end just like it did last year. And I'm saying it now, because it goes by like that. But for right now, you go Monday morning, you'll be off with us Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, which I'll make an announcement. We will go some Wednesdays, but I'm more concerned about the grades than I am anything else at this current time. No, that's the schedule. That's fine. You gotta do something to get better. In the 4 it wasn't. So you gotta do something to get better yourself. That's all that means, right? You gotta do something to get better yourself, right? Right? You gotta do something to get better yourself. You wanna work, don't you? Cut it off. Work. We had a problem with them. Here's the problem. Here's the thing. If you do the math, gentlemen, you're only off 3 days. You're still working Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
We got practice tomorrow.
That 3 day off.
Not tomorrow.
Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Well, I'm more concerned about the grades because I'm getting emails from teachers.
Yeah, these go in the morning.
Your teacher. I'm getting phone calls, gentlemen. This doesn't matter if we don't have the grades. And don't be mad at me. Talk to your peers. Ask them why we don't have all A's and B's in our classes. Then I'll come in here. But my focus is grades. It has always been. And because we're starting to slack off in certain classes, certain people are, but unfortunately certain people affect the whole team. And if you want to come over after practice, I'll show you the emails. I ain't making it up. I love to be in the gym, but not if it's gonna require us to not have grades and do what we're supposed to do. If you work it out too much and you can't handle it, then I gotta take a step back, gentlemen. I gotta take a step back. But gentlemen, don't forget the main focus here. I told you what it takes to be qualified to go Division I, Division II, right? Some of y'all should probably be taking SAT prep classes. Something. I'm gonna tell you right now, all this working out cool, but this gonna be the end of the road for you if you don't pass the SAT. I can't turn water to wine. So when you want to address the issues about being in the gym, talk to the man next to you or help him with his homework if that's what he needs. If that's all I'm saying. I love to be in the gym, you should know that, but not at the expense of me losing 2 guys. Or 1 for that matter. And like Ray said, we have to practice today. He did. But like I said, more importantly, we're going to tone some of this stuff down until I see improvement in these classrooms on certain individuals.
I won't back down.
Good job, man. Good job today, gentlemen. See y'all Monday morning. 6:30. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead, what's up?
Ray, you like pumpkin?
It wasn't even fun.
See why we say you got playing 5:30? You too, Savion.
I'm not playing at 5:30.
Let me go through. 1, 2, 3.
Lafayette Dublin head boys basketball coach, Thurgood Marshall Academy. Last year was my first season. That's the 2014-15 season here. The biggest difference between last year and this year is the experience that we bring back. Last year, those guys did an incredible job, being as though it was their first year. We won 20 games. We were 28, including the playoffs. We lost in the Final Four to our idea team. They ended up winning the whole championship that year, returning 6 seniors, which helps tremendously from a practice aspect, from a mental standpoint, to a game preparation standpoint. Guys are more poised. They had a chance to play over the summer together, do some different things to bring them together, and it's starting to show now. They're more disciplined. The same mistakes we were making last year due to inexperience we're not making anymore. We're cutting down the amount of mistakes that we do make. I have went out and got us a tougher schedule, much tougher schedule than we played last year, which I think will help us in the long run in our quest to win the conference and then also win the city title game, first get invited to them. Our first game, we opened up with Anacostia, a really tough DCI AA public school team. They challenged us. They played really hard. They had really athletic wings. They had one player on the team that really could play, which forced us to change our defenses up and switch things up on the fly. That's the Battle of Southeast, so that's always a live game. There's always a lot of people here, a lot of support from the community. We were fortunate enough to win that game. I was proud of how our guys finished the game. As far as running sets, cut down on the turnovers, made shots when we needed to, and we started to look like a really complete team. We had another quality win against Benjamin Franklin out of Baltimore, city team, really good size, athletic, big. We played really well. That game was a lot closer down the stretch, but we're starting not to make the mistake that we made a year ago at the end of the game, missing free throws. Now we're making them when it matters. Not ball over, running our sets, being disciplined, closing out games, which is the biggest difference. We finished off with E.O. Haynes, a quality opponent, and Crystal Ray out of Baltimore in the DMV Elite event that they had. I'm really proud of the fact that the guys stuck together. They never got down on each other. They were able to push. We were in different circumstances, and at each and every point of the game, we stuck together. And that's something we struggled with the year before. Our biggest challenge was yet around the corner. I entered us into an event of St. Albans, the Bishop Walker tournament. They've been having it for years. That tournament is probably one of the best tournaments I've ever played in. It was comprised of 8 teams, 8 outstanding basketball teams, prep schools and private schools. We were us and Idea were the only charter schools. Our first game was against Murray, number 16 team. We had a chance to prepare. Coming into the game, I don't think anybody knew who we were. We didn't really have an identity. At the same time, in order to make a name, you got to kind of beat guys that already have a name. We were met by a tough Murray team, whom we had the opportunity to scout and take a look at. They had the best big man in the area, Luke Garza. He's about 6'9", 260 pounds, maybe 6'10". He averaged close to 30 points, 10 rebounds, doesn't miss a free throw. Game plan was to double down on him and tire him down and make him work, put pressure on the guards up top, and they ran it to a T. We played hard. I think it was a 2 or 3 point ball game at halftime. We stuck with our game plan. I just told the kids believe and stay disciplined and just play hard and leave it all out there on the floor. Back and forth game the whole time. Nobody would really give in. We rarely turned the ball over, so that helped us to stay in the game, and we shot the ball really well that night, so that allowed us to stay in the game. They were a lot bigger than we were. They zoned us the whole time, so we had to make shots in order to get out of it. It came down to the last second play with about 4 seconds on the clock, 8 seconds. We went to a play we call Warriors, which is for either guy in the bottom to come off the screen. There's a few options off of that play. We ran it to a T. Guys were disciplined. Once Anwar came off the screen, he caught it close to the baseline. It looked like it was short. He was being surrounded by defender, had him blanketed. He was all over him. I told him as soon as he got it, look, let it go. We're going to live or die by it. He got it. A couple seconds left. He didn't defer to pass it. He shot the ball. He made it. That was a ball game. And those are the things that we need that we didn't have last year. Guys that were willing to make that shot when it mattered and when it came down to the end of the game. We won. That set us up on the winner side of the bracket. We went on to play top 10 team, HD Woodson. They are as good as advertised. I think going into the game, we were a little maybe overly confident at where we probably really should have been. I'm not sure if we really took them seriously, as serious as we should have. We were a little lethargic in our play. However, HD was not. They were anxious. They had watched us play. They were ready to play, and they played like a champion. They are the DCIA AA champions from last year. They won it all last year, and they played just like that. They just physically, they're more physical than we were at that time. And I think that hurt us down the stretch, and we kind of gave up, and that's something we couldn't do. We ended up losing to them. We were a little frustrated. We had to talk with the guys after the game about growing up and maturing yourself and being able to play through adversity and not always putting your head down when things don't go your way. Because the next night, you had to turn around and battle again. The very next night, we turned around and we had idea. They swept us all 3 times last year. And they were the conference champs, and they were the charter school champs, and they went to the city title game. And when we played them, it was us to set the tone to see where we are and how much better we've gotten from last year. And at halftime, it was a 1-point ball game. We stuck with our sets and what we're doing. And I didn't like our intensity level in the first half. I just knew we could play a lot harder than that. The second half, we ended up playing much harder. We separated ourselves and ended up beating a really quality team by about 15 points. Unfortunately for us, we didn't really want to play them because we played them so many times during the year. It just so happens they lost the same time we did, so we matched up with them. We ended up beating them in that game where Lonnie Gordon and Anwar were tournament MVPs on our side. And we finished off with a 2-1 run, which was really impressive for us, with quality wins of Murray and Acosta, certain other guys, and Benjamin Frank out of Baltimore, and our only loss being to a top 10 team. So I'm really proud of where we are right now. It's early on in the season. We have a lot more work to do. We have a lot more games to go, so we're not going to get complacent. This is just the start of something I believe is really special, and we'll see where we go from here.